humans. My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin The Tea, where we
sip the tea and our guests
spill that tea. Yes! Damn, girl, we getting good.
It was a little stank, but I'll take it.
That's my best one yet. So if that's stank, then we got a problem. Okay, what's up, girl?
We got a little Glitty here, and who else we got over there?
We got Miss Mama, and yet again, it's always stank when we have an amazing musician in the house. All right, kids, we got Jordy. Everybody's falling in love. Why not me? Smash of the summer.
Wow.
Smash of 2019. The Spotify charts are blowing up. Billboard named him the #1 LGBTQ artist to watch. And let's watch him right here. What? Oh!
Hey!
Welcome, Jordy.
What is
She's like, what's poppin'? Oh! Well, she's gonna go over and join you like she generally does with all guests.
Thank you guys for having me.
My God, thank you for coming in, man.
I'm so excited.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good now.
Yes, we're getting that love from mommies over there.
Absolutely.
You ready to rock, girl?
Ready to rock and roll. So we're
Ready
going to
to
dive
rock.
right on
Let's
in.
dive in.
Get deep.
Okay, so I know that you recently just moved from LA. I mean, just moved to LA.
Correct.
From Chicago, right?
Correct. I grew up in Chicago. I went to college in Boston. And then I moved here like 2 years ago.
Well, welcome.
Fresh off the
Fresh.
Yeah, I guess it feels like it's a long time, but it's also not a long time. But yeah, no, it's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, so take us through the journey. Like, what was the decision to do music and your decision to come here out here to LA? Spill that tea,
Oh
boo.
my gosh. Okay, well,
Yeah, Mama, let him spill.
I mean, I wanted to do music ever since I was really little. It's always been the dream. I went to college as a lit major. I just studied English. I did the whole liberal
Writing?
arts thing.
Okay.
And I was writing on the side, songwriting on the side, and performing on the side, and singing at school. And when I graduated, I was in the midst of a very serious relationship, and so I thought I was going to stay in Boston for the foreseeable future. But then I don't know. It was a couple of months after I graduated, and I was like, I have to make the move, and we have to break up. And
You're gonna be content for all my songs.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
It was a very mutual, beautiful thing, and we both had our own kind of dreams to chase, and so yeah, I decided to move here, and it was October of 2017, and now it's October 2019.
Right now, wow.
Yeah, and so yeah, and just kind of got here and immediately just started going for it.
So you got here, immediately started going for it.
Yeah.
Really, what does that mean? Because who did you know? What doors were you knocking on?
Totally.
Because I feel like in 2 years, you've gone from the kid that came here, and now you're on the preface right now. I feel like you're on the preface of something so major.
Thank you.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. The Spotify number is combined with everything millions.
Yeah.
So it's
Thank you.
the eyes are tuned in. So how was that journey in LA for, a boy from Chicago?
Yeah,
You gotta be a little, you're a little, you got balls.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I have a really supportive family, and I got my degree for, my parents. I was like, look, I went to college for 4 years. I got my degree. I'm moving to LA.
Bye.
So, I had a really good friend from Boston who was dating Will, who you guys know.
Yes.
And at the time, I was like, hey, I'm moving to LA. And she was like, Will needs a roommate. And so me and Will moved in together. Will is an artist, songwriter.
Will J.
Yes, he's amazing.
Find him somewhere here.
Exactly. And so we moved in together, and I had been writing since I was little, but it was the first time I was really writing all of the pop stuff. And so I just started going into sessions. Will would join me, and we would write just song after song after song. And a couple weeks after I moved to LA, I wrote a song called Be With Me that Will also co-wrote. And I fell in love with it, and it was actually the first song that I had written since moving to LA. And so the producer, Johnny, and Will, I was like, guys, I love this song so much. I want to put it out right now. And they were like, you're going to write so many songs. Wait until you have a couple to choose from. And I was like, no, I'm putting this out now. And so we finished up the track, and I went to a website called submithub.com. And I submitted it to labels and blogs and stuff, and a label picked it up and they distributed it. So they signed, it was a one single deal. And that's kind of when like the Spotify thing started because the label put it out and it got playlisted. And from there, I like met a manager I was working with who was based in Sweden, who ended up like flying me out there to write even more songs.
Yes, Sweden, that's the hub.
That was the hub. It's like the hub of pop. And then like a couple months after Be With Me, I released Just Friends, and then that did really well. And it kind of has just like trickled. And I've met like so many amazing writers and so many amazing producers along the way, and people who just like really believe in me. And I just haven't stopped, I guess. I'm just writing every week.
It feels like 2 years has been like...
It's been a lot. It's been a lot, but good.
You are killing it.
Thank you.
And I mean, you just kind of talked about that, like, submitting yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like now, it's kind of like a place where independent people are able to do things on such a broader scale, where before it's like you needed a label and you needed all this.
Totally.
And, I mean, of course, having the machine
Yes.
is amazing, but let's kind of like talk about that. You're an upcoming artist, but you've done so much. So, there's other upcoming artists that are trying to just figure it out. They feel like lost. So let's kind of like talk about how that being independent has got you to where you're at. And like if they needed like, hey, how do I just even get my foot in the door? What would be like that one thing?
Oh my gosh.
That you could say?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I would say it's the best time to be an independent artist. I mean, if you guys wanted to write a song, you could put it on Spotify if you wanted to.
Girl, she already got one on Spotify.
There you go.
I mean, well,
She is that bitch.
That's it. No, I mean, anybody can upload their music to Spotify, Apple, whatever it is.
Nobody want to hear my shit, girl.
Okay. I'm ready for it. And so, I guess like, it's just not being afraid to put your stuff out. You know what I mean? I think that like, you just have to start somewhere, and you have to start by putting things out in the world, even if you're afraid of like what people might think. Put stuff out there, put music out for people to hear. And for me, I was just like, I believed in the first song I put out. It was called Be With Me. I really believed in it, but I was also like really scared. I had never put out a single before. I had been known to like have a good voice, but I never put out like an original song before that I had written. And so I was super nervous, but I think it's just like hopping over that hurdle and just putting yourself out there, and just like networking and meeting as many people as you can and collaborating with as many people as you can. I think that like there is a beautiful thing, and I know a lot of artists who will write it themselves, produce it themselves, do everything themselves, and I think that's freaking awesome, and I commend them for that. For me, it's like, I want to work with as many different people as I can to, learn and to get better and to like exercise the muscle that is songwriting. And so for me, it was like coming to LA and like meeting as many people as I can, being like a good, nice person and like being enjoyable to work with and having fun and just like, not being afraid, putting your stuff out there and using, websites like Submit Hub or, contacting these like playlist curators online and sending cold emails to people at Billboard or anyone at like any magazine or whatever, sending cold emails, doing the thing and just like not being afraid. I don't know. That's
beautiful advice, though.
That is.
It's beautiful advice in life, I think, because to not be afraid is to just take that, just jump.
Just jump.
And see what happens. If it's, you came here to do something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like LA can like really trap you in a vicious cycle.
Absolutely.
And it feels like, I love that you touched on, surrounding yourself and like the art of collaboration and learning and taking something from, So next week I'll have somebody in your chair and then the week after we'll swap.
Okay, perfect.
But
it just really struck me. I was like, oh, girl, bye.
Bye, Felipe.
I want to talk about the transition in the music because you really talked about like that hurdle of being afraid to release because a lot of it's personal, a lot of it's kind of, you're kind of drawing in on your experiences in your life.
Yeah.
And maybe your friends and what everyone's going through.
Totally.
With the song like Just Friends and then the current single, there seems to be there's a theme.
Yeah.
Where the boys at?
Where the boys at?
There seems to be a theme. Hands up, me too. Where the goddamn boys
this is the thing. All of these like sad experiences or like lonely experiences has created a lot of dope art. So I'm very grateful for these experiences where I'm like, damn, I'm feeling kind of lonely and rejected, but like I'm gonna write a dope song about it. So I mean, look, I think that if you're writing a song that's personal, which I like doing, I am a vulnerable Pisces through and through. I am an emotional bag of tears. I like wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I heard Halsey talking about this in an interview once, and I loved it so much. She was basically saying how, she'll get messages from people being like, your song has helped me feel less alone, and your song has helped me. And she was like, in the interview, she was like, I'm the one. I mean, granted, I'm nowhere near her level, but
You will be.
One day. But she was saying like, she's the one getting thousands of messages saying, I feel the same way. I don't feel as alone. But and those messages make her feel less alone. You know what I mean? So
we're all human.
It works both ways. So for me, it's like, I put myself out there, my music out there. Yes, it might be vulnerable. It might, just friends. It's about being friend zoned, being rejected. Everybody's falling in love, but not me is about how everybody is falling in love, but not me.
Yeah,
and that isn't like, I look back on those songs and I'm like, damn, like really putting out your like single energy. But I mean, the messages that I get and the people responding to me
about the DMs
about the music make me feel like less alone. And it's a part of why I love doing it. And especially like, I don't know.
It's beautiful though, having that connect. I think good music is about, it sits with you and it resonates with you. And I definitely, when Ariane and I were listening, I was like, oh my God, this is like, it's a story.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a story.
Yeah.
I love a good trashy pop song. But I like a little depth.
I'm a sucker for pop. I love music.
Yeah, but I think too, it's about, anything I think as like a creator, no matter what it is that you're creating, where it's an actor, whether it's, a musician, I think people can relate as much. Okay, Glitty, it's not about you right now.
Jordy, I'm sorry, the tongue's dead.
Sorry, Glitty's trying to, she's like, excuse me, I need my shine. But I think it's dope because that's how people relate when you're authentic and you can say, hey, this is what I'm going through.
Totally.
So I think that's dope that what you're doing is like you're being vulnerable, and I feel like people relate to that. And we need more of that.
Absolutely.
Especially now with Instagram and all the fakeness happening. So it's great to see someone be like, you know what? Speaking of, I saw your post on Instagram about your friend. I don't know if you mind if I...
Yes.
And,
public domain.
I won't go too deep because I don't know how much you want to talk about, but I thought that was so dope that you just put a raw, authentic song out about like, damn, I lost my friend, and I'm just gonna, and how you worded it about like, how you grew up and how like, I'm this white male, so I'm not, it was just so dope.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, first of all, like writing the songs is also therapy for me. Like I do have a therapist as well, but it's also like we all should have the therapist. Everybody should go to therapy. But writing the music is certainly like a release for me, and being in rooms with people I trust and love so much and writing about these things is really important to me. And that situation in particular, I mean, to give more context, I had a really good friend from college who, was one of my really good friends who I grew with all 4 years. And I always knew that she was super religious, and I'm not necessarily religious, but it kind of, I always saw that as a really beautiful thing. I was like, oh wow, we're coming from two different perspectives and we're able to have this beautiful friendship. I love that. But unfortunately, like a year ago, she opened up to me about how, she isn't necessarily she doesn't agree with my lifestyle as a gay person, and like if I get married one day, she wouldn't be able to attend my wedding, and it was really hard. And so I sat down at the piano and I literally wrote that song in like 30 minutes, and it had been a year, and I decided to post it on Instagram because I think a lot of people go through that stuff in the LGBT community. But again, I wanted to touch upon things like, I grew up with like in a loving family, a very supportive family. I was so lucky to have parents say, I love you. Like when they found out that I was gay, like the first thing they said was, I love you, we support you. And I know that that's not the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm a white guy, I walk down the street and there is so much privilege there. And so I was honestly afraid to post something about how hurt I was because
I'm so sensitive nowadays.
100%. But I was like, look, this hurt me. I lost one of my best friends, and I want to share the art I created because of it. And And that was a really important thing. I think a lot of people needed to hear that because too many people are going through that kind of stuff today, and I thought it was important to share. Yeah, and I want to talk about it. I like talking about it.
You like talking and singing and all kinds of things.
Right.
1-800.
Yeah, exactly. The Jordy hotline.
Right.
The Jordy hotline.
Yeah.
I live.
No, but it was beautifully written.
Thank you so much.
Because it's just like it touched on things that even if people wanted to be like, you hit it without anyone even having to be like, well, what about, you know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate
good
that.
for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So what is next for 2020?
What is
next? Is there anything else beside music? I notice a lot of creators always use like very multi.
Sure.
So.
No, totally. Music.
Yeah.
Music.
EP coming.
So I put out an EP in April called Welcome to the Friend Zone, including Just Friends, a lot of other songs having to do with being single, having anxiety, and figuring out like dating in LA, which is hard.
It's a struggle.
The app life is complicated. No, I mean, I just got signed to an agency. I'm hopefully going to be playing more live shows, which is really exciting. I have a show on the 21st here in LA downtown, which I'm really excited for. I have a single coming out at the end of the month, and then hopefully at the beginning of the new year, I'll start releasing singles for another EP. So
Maybe the Love Ballads album.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. No, I still have some more like crazy single songs that I need to like get out of my system, and then we'll totally we'll get into there. We'll get in there at some point.
That's so fun.
But just like grinding at the music stuff. Keep writing, keep releasing, keep recording.
Keep going.
Keep it
going.
Yeah.
I just again, it is therapy for me. I love it so much. I love writing music so much, and it's just my favorite thing to do, and I love performing. I've been performing ever since I was a kid.
Came out of the womb performing.
Yeah, literally.
Sure.
There's too many home videos of me as a kid just singing.
That's perfect. When you win your first Grammy, honey, they'll have the B-roll ready.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm pulling up the fast.
Well, as you pull up the rapid fires, I need to ask you, because as all the guys out here watching, what do you look for in a guy?
What do I? Oh my gosh, what do I look for in a guy? Someone who's funny, someone who I can giggle with for sure, someone who I can like pig out on delicious food with, definitely. I don't know, someone who like, I guess isn't intimidated by like vulnerability and being open with like talking about your emotions, because for me communication is always like the most important thing. So
1000%.
I like to communicate my feelings, and so having someone who like is also that way, or is really, a good listener, I'd say, is definitely something I look for sure. Good smile,
Check them down, girl. Check them down. We'll put the link right here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So you ready for these? We're gonna give you a few rapid fire.
Oh my God.
Let's go to the gayest question I can ask.
Oh,
The gayest question, okay.
Don't be afraid, babe, because it's like not that gay.
Oh no, I'm ready.
Madonna or Britney Spears? It doesn't get gayer.
Probably Britney. I mean, because that's just like my childhood. Like it was Britney.
Okay,
Britney. My mom will probably kill me when she sees this, but like I mean, Britney was like my childhood. I gotta say Britney.
Okay. So speaking of romance, night out on the town to pop your henny.
Okay.
Or a little Netflix by the fireplace.
Oh, Netflix by the fireplace.
Yes.
It was like hands down Netflix by the fireplace.
He can pop his henny.
Like anybody who knows me, like I do like to dance. I do like to have a good time like that, but I am like such a homebody.
Yeah.
And if I can have like all of my friends in one room where we're all like drinking red wine and like spilling the tea.
Ooh.
Cheers that, baby.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
That's good branding. We're gonna cut that for the showreel, honey.
And then so Matt, you got the last one. It's gonna be on like we're gonna end it on a nice little
We're gonna have a little
Oh my God.
inspo.
Yeah, some inspiration.
I'm ready.
What's the best piece of advice you've been given thus far in 2 years here, and by who?
Oh my gosh. Who has given me the best advice here? Oh my God, there's so many people.
It's always the hardest
I'm
question.
scared. Since moving to LA, I want to say I'll probably just give Will some like credit too, because I love that guy, and he was like my first like new friend that I made in LA, and like someone who I looked and still look up to very much in the songwriting world, and he was just like right as much as you can because it's a muscle and you have to exercise it. And like, you know, even if you think it's like a bad song, it doesn't matter. Just write and write and write and write and write and just keep doing it because like you can only like go up from there and you can only get better. And I think that that is like the biggest piece of advice that I've taken on because, you know, it's been a journey. I had written, again, I was writing when I was younger, but I hadn't ever really written the pop stuff. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I also know that like, I mean, I think that to make it really in the industry, like you don't just need like a nice singing voice, but like you need good songs that like can be on the radio and that people can like sing along to.
You need your look.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've got the look.
Thank you.
Serving look.
Yes.
Serving look.
But
Boots. Lift your leg up. Lift that one up.
yeah,
Yes,
Ooh.
Wait, he's just kicked us.
we love Azar.
I was like, yes.
But yeah, just like writing, exercise it because you can only get better from
The muscle.
Yeah.
the muscle.
And that's like life in terms of like, that's just
Anything.
great advice.
Yeah.
Period.
Whatever you love to do and whatever is your passion,
Absolutely.
you have to work it like it's the muscle.
Yep.
Everything needs working.
100%.
And do it and be the best.
Keep doing it.
Well, let's
Yes.
be the best at wrapping this up, girl. Give me the best one you've ever done.
All right.
Go. Oh my God.
All right,
God
Jordy.
damn
I need
it.
you to look right here in this
Oh,
camera
okay.
and tell everyone where to follow you at and where they can see the music and the whole night.
Oh my gosh.
And date you, number.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we're not going to do that. They can sign up in the DMs for that.
Instagram, Jordy Music, JordyMusic. Jordy Music _ on Twitter. And then on Spotify, it's in Apple, it's just Jordy, all caps. And you can find me there.
That's his face.
You can stream my music there.
You can DM him. You can sign up in the DMs if you're trying to get that date.
Yeah.
I was like,
Slide-
you're trying
slide
to get
right
that.
in.
No,
right in, boys.
and we're going to keep it PG over here.
But yeah.
You guys can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew. And this little sleepy nugget at Gleeklet.
You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983, and you know, let's
bass
not
is-
worry about her because the bass is asleep and she's done. Jordy, you're a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
my
thank you.
friend.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
cheers.
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 Thank you,
Guys.
Jordy. Much
Yes.
success, babe.
Thank you. Cheers.
Everybody said I'm not enough. Everybody's falling in love. Why not me? Hey, what you up to? Still planning to come through. I'm getting so tired at this party.
Yeah, you got the wrong number. Click.